Welcome everybody to the Chicago Computer Society West Side Computer Club. This is the beginning of January edition, and our format typically is we start out with an open forum, then we'll go into our presentation, and then we'll have a final wrap up. I'd like to start out to say everybody welcome. Glad we're ready to start this year. And I'd like to know if anyone has the first questions of the evening they'd like to pose to the group. Bill, yes.
Yeah, I may not make the entire meeting because I've been in the hospital with one biopsy, so I'm getting over that. So I wanted to go first, if you don't mind.
We do not mind.
This kind of falls under questions as well as what did you get new? My grandson bought a new Windows 11 laptop for school, for college. And so he came over and I was trying to help him set it up. And one of the things I discovered, which I was not aware of in Tim's presentation, was they did away with toolbars in the taskbar. They're no longer there. They also did away with shortcuts on the desktop. They're no longer there. So, which is perplexing to me because those are two things that I used quite a bit. I'm wondering if anybody knows if there's any substitutes for those two applications in Windows 11.
I'm perplexed here for a moment before we go further. Are you saying when you go to your desktop, you can't create a shortcut?
I couldn't figure out how.
You can't just right click and do a shortcut?
I couldn't figure out how.
Wow. Okay. This is me being ignorant to this. And
it may be they're using their apps as the way to get to it, but it was a little frustrating.
Bill, are you asking about the quick launch toolbar or just toolbars that are custom toolbars?
Well, if you go down in Windows 10, if you right click on the taskbar in an empty spot,
right,
one of the things that pops up is toolbars that you can create your own or use links or whatever. And it's not available in Windows 11.
That is correct, according to what I'm seeing in Google
Well,
and what I've read. That's one thing that's missing.
Yep. And the other thing was I couldn't create shortcuts. So what I ended up doing was putting a folder on the desktop and dragging the applications into there, but I couldn't make them shortcuts. I actually put the applications there, which I really didn't want to do.
wow, makes me want to move to Windows 11.
Yeah.
Makes me glad I have a Mac.
Yeah, thank you. Who's that? Who's that good?
Apple likes to make changes in there and don't ask your permission to make changes. So, and
I know that.
Okay, you can do it.
oh, you can do what, Bob?
Create desktop shortcuts in Windows 11.
Okay, can you?
And here's an article, which is a how-to I'll post.
Great.
I haven't got Windows 11, so I can't tell you that this will work or that it won't.
Yeah, I understand that.
But just let me get the URL off of here and you can look for yourself and see whether it works.
You could share. Hey, Bob, I believe I set it up where we're all sharing. So if you want to,
it might just be easier to ask Bill to take a look at the article and report back to us whether or not it works.
okay.
Well, I don't have the machine now because my grandson, but I will forward it to him and ask him.
Yeah.
And then in my pursuits of various things, I did post in the chat one thing that I thought was very well done on Windows 11 tips. There's a link there.
You will be using the Windows 11 all apps option from the Windows icon.
That's what I kind of figured.
The all apps option, and then all you do is you drag and drop.
Okay. Okay. I think
If you click on an icon for an app and
Yep.
drag it to the desktop,
Yep.
you will see the word link appear,
Okay.
and then release the cursor
Okay.
according to this.
All right.
Desktop shortcuts, there's also, you can make a file shortcut,
Yeah, great.
and you can make website shortcuts.
Yep.
So those, yes, the article does cover that.
Okay,
I
great.
can't vouch for it because I'm running Windows 10.
I understand, so am I. But you also might take a look at that one that I posted on Windows 11 tips. I thought it was very well done.
Oh, sure.
So
Take a
Bill,
look.
were you also saying the toolbar that normally is at the bottom is gone?
No, the taskbar is there.
The taskbar,
But if you right click on the taskbar in a blank spot,
yes?
you'll notice that a option for toolbars comes up.
Oh, I see.
That is gone.
Okay.
And I use that a lot.
I'm still looking into that one.
Well, I Googled that and it said they weren't available, but if you find it, great.
I see toolbars. You got addresses, links, and
You can add your
desktop,
own.
and a new toolbar.
Yeah, if you click on that, then you can go into your file explorer and add whatever file or folder you want to add there, instead of chasing it down through the file explorer every time.
Well, Bill, you're a power user over there. You press
Yeah,
the
right.
envelope.
I picked up little tips and tricks over the years.
I guess so. Did you have more questions or something you wanted to share with us?
No, that's
before you-
all. I have some good news. My biopsy was no cancer. I
Good.
do have some lung issues that I have to get addressed with the pulmonologist. I don't know what those are yet until March.
Okay,
Um,
March. March. Oh my God.
Well, I guess he wants me to heal before he sees me.
Okay, understood. All right, next question, new direction.
Oh, by the way, on those toolbars, there still is a thing called WinArrow Tweaker, which will bring back the Windows 10 behavior on the taskbar. On the taskbar.
WinArrow, what was that?
WinArrow Tweaker
You want to put that
or
in the
WinArrow
chat?
Tweak. Yeah,
You-
I'll put WinArrow Tweak in chat when I get the URL for it, because I do remember that one, and apparently it still works.
Huh. Why do they hide it so much?
They're actually trying to get you not to do it,
I
not to
know.
pin things to the taskbar.
Yeah.
They want you to use the All Apps menu.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
There's a lot of other things they want you to do differently.
There's a few things I'd like them to do too.
I hear you. I'm waiting for .1. I'm waiting for the .1 release.
I'm in no hurry to go there to 10 myself, so.
Yeah.
I've not heard anybody say, oh my God, this is so fantastic. I'm just loving every moment of it.
Yeah, you're probably not going to hear that for a while.
Yep, I probably won't,
Not for a while.
Okay, next question.
Hey, Sanford, I got one for you.
Yes, go ahead, Ed.
A product that I just recently bought that is really neat. And it's a hearing aid. And I bought a pair of hearing aids from Costco.
Yes.
The last time I bought a pair of hearing aids from Costco, I paid about $1,500 a piece for them.
Okay.
Okay. Costco now has their Kirkland Signature 10 hearing aids. They're rechargeable, so you don't have to have batteries, and they give you a whole kit with it for $1,399.99 for 2 hearing aids.
So how much was that? 13 what? 1,400?
$1,400. It's $1399.99 and
1,400.
$12.25 tax.
Well, it depends on where you live.
No, well, okay, but no, the tax is real small. In other words, it's almost negligible.
Oh, because it's a medical device.
Exactly.
So they're all
Anyway.
charging you tax on the batteries, what they're charging you, I guess.
Well, this the internal battery. But anyway, I have them on now. They work really great. I called, I went out and bought a TV adapter that they have. They don't have the TV adapter that I like to have, but I went and bought one from a local place where I could find one. They're really hard to find. But then I checked with VA and VA sent me one. So I took the other one back. Then I asked VA about another device, and it's called a partner mic. And I don't know if you can see it. What do I do on Zoom to see? Can you see this little device that I'm holding up?
You got to hold it up to your camera higher so we can see it.
Okay. Can you see
There
it
you
now?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really tiny. It's about 3-4 fingers long and 2 fingers wide. And it's made by Phonak. And they charge $300 for it. But if you happen to get your stuff through VA sent me one. I just asked for it and they sent me one from Phonak.
And what
The
is
thing
this?
about these hearing aids is Phonak got the contract this year, which is unique in the sense that Phonak hearing aids are very expensive. And to pay $1,400 for a pair of Phonak hearing aids, that's who makes the current Kirkland Signature 10s, is a really good deal. And they have really good technical support in the machines that they use to hook you up with and to check your hearing are top of the line. So that's my plug for the day.
So what was that gizmo for?
Okay, let's say that you're having trouble hearing somebody. You would just you would pass this to them and they could clip it on. I put it back in the case, so let me get it out. They could clip it onto their lapel. I don't know, can you see my lapel? Or can
No.
you see it on here?
No,
And you turned it on, it's a partner mic. So you give it to somebody else or you lay it in the middle of the table for a conversation. And then that streams directly to your hearing aids.
oh, I get you.
And the other device the TV connector hooks up to either optical or stereo input into it. And it goes directly to your hearing aids. So when I watch TV at night, when my wife goes to bed and I don't want it to disturb her, I just listen straight through my hearing aids to the TV. And the good thing about these, and also with my phone, is it streams directly to it. And I also have it hooked up to my computer, and it's Bluetooth compatible, the current Bluetooth, and if I want, I don't have to listen to the speaker on my computer. I could just hear it in my hearing aids.
So how's the sound quality, Ed,
Really good.
compared to
I'm
your
compared to my previous 3 hearing aids.
Yes.
Ed, what's the device that you had to get for hook up the TV?
It's called a TV adapter.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but which one did you get?
Can you put it
I
in
got
the
the
chat?
TV adapter 1.0. There's a TV adapter 1.1. That's the one I bought for $125 and took back and got my money back. And VA gave me the TV adapter right away. They had them in stock. Where if you go to try to find it online, you can do a search for them. But the newest one is called. I can bring up a picture of it and show you.
Can you put it in?
It's called.
Ed, can you
Yeah.
put a link to this stuff in the chat?
Sure.
Just copy it and post it in the chat, and then we can all see where this is.
Okay. I'll figure out how to do that.
You go to chat,
Okay.
and then you
But
copy it from your URL and just post it and paste it into the chat message to everybody.
Okay. What I'll do is I will send it to my computer in text message, and I'll copy from that and put it in chat. And I'll also send a copy of the newer 2.0. I'll send a copy of the old one and the new one, what they look like on the TV adapters. Okay? That's it.
Great. And that was a reasonable price there for $1,400.
Yeah, because last time that I bought them, before I got VA to pay for my hearing aids, the ones I bought before that, my Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which I pay a lot for, my secondary policy, I paid like $2,900 for the Costco hearing aids for two. And Blue Cross and Blue Shield repaid me for $2,500 of that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm paying about $6,000 a year for my secondary
What,
coverage.
you think you're alone in this group?
Most people have supplemental
Add
coverage,
another
not
1,000
secondary.
and that's my deductible, okay?
Boy,
All
am I
right, I'll
glad
do
my
that.
wife is still working.
Pardon me?
I said, am I so glad my wife is still working?
As you should be, Rick.
Ed, were you able to make an appointment with the VA or was this done through a phone conversation?
I had already got hearing aids through VA, and I'm a disabled veteran because I have hearing loss because of the work that I did in Antarctica for 13 months around a generator that was making a lot of noise. So that's why I was eligible to get the stuff from VA. But but all I did was call them and ask for it, and they sent it right out to me.
Well, that's pretty good, Ed. Thank you
Yeah.
for showing us that those units.
Now, is there something that should have shown up in chat about these?
I haven't done it yet. I've got to
Ah.
get it over to my computer, and then I will put it in chat. I'll tell you when I do. Okay.
He does
Okay.
he does a lot on his phone.
Oh, I see. It's on the phone.
It's on my
I-
phone, not on my computer. It'll get there.
Meanwhile, Win Arrow Tweaker, the links are now in chat.
Thank you. All right, next question, New Direction.
I've got a question or and a couple. It's kind of a two-part question. One, does anybody have any experience in taking and getting music off of an iPhone or an iPad? And the second part of that is also converting. Is anybody have any experience with any programs or suggested programs for converting, WMA to MP3?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that all the Windows stuff now comes down as MP3.
No, but if you record it directly to the phone, it's their format.
Right. Some of it's MP3, but some of it's WMA.
Do you have
format.
iTunes?
Yes, iTunes, and you can obviously put anything onto the phone, but it's the only, right now I lost some music, and the only place it is on the phone. And I've looked up, and there are some programs that you can get. I'm always leery to take some of these free programs, and that's why I was wondering if anybody's had any experience trying to do that.
Okay,
Well,
Jim,
iTunes now is available on a Windows PC.
Yeah, but that's true. But once you've got, even though you have iTunes on the Windows PC, you cannot get the music. If the only source of the music is on the iPhone, you can't get the music off the iPhone.
Okay. I
Stanford,
just-
I'm dying here. Okay, first thing. Rick was on target when he said, do you have iTunes? Do you regularly use iTunes to sync your phone or device to whatever laptop or PC you're using?
yeah, the problem is syncing only works in one direction.
No. It works bi-directional.
Well,
You
that's
have to have the settings set up that way in iTunes so that
okay.
it syncs both ways. And
Okay.
then what happens is iTunes will back up the entire, by default, iTunes will back up your phone. Let's say it's on your phone. It's going to back it up to your PC if you're running iTunes on PC.
That's true.
The key is knowing where to look for it, because it puts it in a folder that's highly embedded. And
Okay.
and I can find that if I dig around in my machine. And let me see if I can figure out. Oh, I can't minimize this because I'm I'm in the meeting. So let's see if I can find a different way to do this.
Rick's got
Rick's got it. Go ahead, Rick.
This is a iDisk. It's USB on one side
That's the other thing too.
and it's an Apple on the other.
okay.
Plug this into your iPhone and you can download anything you want from your iPhone.
Okay. So you can, so basically you can get your iPhone to look, you can get access to those files, because that's the one thing I haven't been able to do. In older ones, you could get access to the iPhone as a disk on older iPhones, but I couldn't find that on the newer iPhones, but that works. Called an
Jim?
iDisk. Who makes it?
This is iDisk, IDISK.
Yep.
This one is a 64 gigabyte. And I have a bunch of different ones that I used to use.
Bill's got one. Bill Powell's got one. And I suggested this last year that I bought one of these for my
Okay.
wife. So,
Okay.
so you can get this on,
I bought 4 of the 1 gigs for Christmas for my family.
Here's a SanDisk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Plugs
SanDisk.
in
I bought
USB
those
to
for
this
my
end,
wife.
and there's Apple right there. I know
okay.
I've got a lot of them.
And
Oh, super. Okay.
Jim, if you got a pencil and paper,
Yep.
I can tell you where iTunes hides the stuff.
Okay.
So if you go to this PC and then you look
Mhm.
for the music folder,
Right.
then you look for iTunes,
Yep.
iTunes Media, and then music, and then you should from that point start to see your artist in there, and
Okay.
they should be individual folders. It may be another subfolder of unknown artists and then unknown albums or something. That may get you there. Of course, mine is not showing up here, and it's making a line.
So I've got iTunes
Oh, there it is.
Media.
It's
Music.
it's
Okay. Okay.
iTunes Media, iTunes Music, and then from there it's going to be one more, which is music.
Okay. Got
And
it. Okay.
that's
I
where it
just
hides.
did that. Well,
That's where it
I
hides it.
thought I tried going down a route like that. Now, most of these things, let's see, what is all this in here?
But it's going to be individual folders that are going to contain the albums that you've recorded. If you recorded albums, like, it might say an album might be Aerosmith, and then the next album
Yeah.
would be Led Zeppelin, and, whatever you want, Roxy Music.
Yeah, I don't seem to be seeing everything that I've got on there.
Let me say, this is where iTunes put it on my PC. I believe Bill's device and the one Rick and Bill showed you are your easiest routes to go
Okay.
for backing up, because it's going to rename or renumber everything and put it in a nice logical order on that drive, and you could try that out. I
It will
don't
also-
know.
It will also back up your contacts.
Right.
Yeah, see when I look at that folder and everything, it looks like I've got things in there that are from iTunes, but none of the CDs or MP3 files that I had downloaded at some point to the
You
to
may
the
have to
phone.
hunt around. You could always do a global search from the search bar. Down the start
Yep.
bar, go down there to do a global search and to do *MP3.
Yeah,
and
that's a good suggestion. Yeah.
That
yeah.
one, they'll show up in there too. So
Okay. Okay.
there's a good place to start. And the reason I'm kind of like this is because I've successfully moved my iTunes library year after year, time after time, from one older version of an iPod to a newer version to an iPhone. And every time we move from an older iPhone to a newer iPhone, all that library gets moved forward. So I do know that it's a two-way street.
Well, that hasn't been a problem when I back up. If I've backed up a phone, using iTunes, and then I've restored a new one from iTunes, and everything gets onto the iPad. But I want to get this onto my PC and then onto an Android device.
Right.
And I
Okay.
cannot
So
get-
that's difficult. Rick's trying to show us something.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just showing you.
We don't want to
It
listen to music.
it started playing. I'm sorry. But basically, like I just loaded in all this audio here.
Okay.
Now, going from an Android to a PC, there's another program that I use for that. Let me get that. I'll be
Well, he's going from Apple to an Android.
Right.
I went the other way around. I went from Android to Apple, and I can't wait to go back. But and just having fun here. Tony is going to tell us something different there tonight, and Ed's going to be on that camp too. He's an Apple fanboy, which are just fine. All are welcome here. I think, but back to your question, you needed to convert it from their format to
MP3. That's the second step.
And I do not know the answer to the question, but
I mean, there are programs you can do it with. I just want to, does anybody have any experience with any? So I get one that's, that is both reliable and safe.
I would investigate Format Factory,
Okay.
which is one that our group has recommended for years. It's all one word, formatfactory.org.
Okay.
Get this. And that's a free program that will convert audio, video files, blah, 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 blah. It does a lot. But I do not have any experience of whether or not it can convert the formats for Apple to MP3s.
Okay.
I have not tried that. Jim, next month,
Yes.
please give us a report and tell us
Yep.
how this mission went.
Yep, I will. Okay.
Okay. I don't envy you.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, it could be a big task to do. I don't know.
Yeah, got it.
It may not be.
Format Factory does show MP3 and WMA.
Okay.
Okay.
Jim, that's what you wanted, WMA?
WMA to MP3, right?
There you go. It's a really good, easy to use product, and it's free. It's an open source, I believe.
Okay.
The other thing, you've come up with 3 good solutions of getting his stuff off the iPhone into, say, a PC and conversion. I'll give you a couple old style ones for the Android, and it should work on the iPhone. If you got a lightning cable for the iPhone, you can plug it into a USB port of a PC.
Right.
And it looks just like a flash drive. You can pull off anything you want, and you can push up to the phone anything you want.
But do you have to have a particular program on the PC?
Not for copying up or down, no.
I haven't been able to find any way of doing that on the newer phones. Like I said,
that went away a long time ago.
Yeah, you used to be able to do that on older iPods and older iPhones, but not on the newer ones.
Okay.
There is an app to use. And when I got my iPhone, when I was at Costco, which is where I got it, they had me download this specific app. And I see there's one that's called Smart Switch. I think might be one of them.
Smart Switch is the Android.
Right. You have to download. You're gonna have to download an app onto the Android and another app on the iPhone, and the two will link up directly.
Oh, so you can be able there's a Smart Switch app for the iPhone itself.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And that's what I used, and it transferred my contacts, my photos, everything on over. Then once I was done, I deleted it because I knew it was a one-time shot.
Got it. Okay.
But when I was at Costco, they walked me right through it, and they said, "Here's what you do."
Okay. Yeah, I've used Smart Switch to transfer from one Samsung device to another.
Right.
But not from the iPhone. Okay.
Ed, do you know better than this? Ed, do you know any more?
I do. I did, but it's been a long time since I've done it, so I really don't know what to do now, unfortunately.
Okay.
I have one other comment. I put everything up there on the chat.
Got it.
The first image I put up, I said Phonak TV connector 1.0 and 1.1. The one I bought from the local hearing aid place was 1.1. And when you look at the picture, the 1.0 is on the left, and the front of them look pretty much the same, but the back looks different. They had one device that they couldn't sell me at Costco. If anybody buys this particular hearing aid, they're going to be selling at Costco this little device that I showed you before, the partner mic for, not the partner mic. They charge $300, $299 for the partner mic at Costco. But the 2.0 TV connector, which is also Dolby, in other words, it's a much better model. That's what the second picture I sent. And I tried to copy the link in, whether or not it's going right or not. It's basically the hearing aid center at Costco, but you want Kirkland Signature 10.0. But what I was going to say is the TV connector 2.0 that shows the picture of there, the back, and I think I might even have a picture of the front. I'll look and I'll post it for that also if I can find it. But anyway, they're going to be selling that TV connector for $100, which is a really good price. When they get them in, they have trouble with the shipping is what the problem is. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a very good price for those hearing aids.
Oh, I know. I mean, I paid twice that much the first time I bought them at Costco, and they weren't as good as these are. And you had to have a thing to wear around your neck to stream to it. And this works really well. The streaming is right in sync with the TV, and everything works great.
Will Stinger, I sent you a chat as a solution. Sorry, I deviated there for a moment. Hey, Ed, I didn't see anything posted about the this 1.1, 3.1 device that the transmitter you were referring to. Do you have a link to that?
I posted the image. You got to click on it.
Ah, okay. On the Costco hearing aid thing.
Well, no, above that, there's an image, IMG-6146. That's the 1 and the 2 side by side. The 1.0 is on the left. That's the back of it. And the Phonak TV connector is image 6181. And if you click on them, at least when I clicked on them, the picture comes right up on the screen.
Well, it takes me to the hearing aids, but I don't see anything about a connector here.
At 7:54, I sent the one and it posted.
Oh, okay.
I said Phonak TV connector 1.0 and 1.1, and just above that is the picture. And then at 7:56, I sent the other picture. You didn't get it?
I see it's an image.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So click on it and it should bring it up.
Okay, first I got to download it to view it. Got it. I see the connector.
Oh, I'm gonna send another picture of the front of Phonak TV. I'll send it in a minute. The
We got
difference
your
is
serial number too, so we can register ours with your number on there. That's
I got that program now. It's called AirDroid, AIRDROID.
Yeah.
And that will allow you to go from any device to any device.
Okay. Well, thank you.
so the difference between, and I'm gonna send this picture to you, and it has an on-off button and a minus and a plus. And that's the front of the TV connector 2.0.
Okay.
If somebody wants to buy one and they don't have it, I'll send that to you next. Okay.
What do you have a link online where to look at these things, like an article or something?
If I can find one, I'll put it on there.
Because I think that's equally as beneficial as the pictures would be.
Okay.
Does this let you play Apple TV on through HDMI or anything on your TV?
No, it
No.
doesn't. But it'll let you hear whatever's playing on your TV over to your directly in your hearing aids.
So it would go from your Apple TV to your TV and then TV out to like going to a sound bar, but instead it's going to go to this transmitting device.
Right.
Okay.
And it's really kind of neat in the sense that you can have them set up you can set it up so that it automatically comes on, which I would not do that. The person that sets up your hearing aids can make it be manual. So you pick it or manual with a sound. And manual with a sound, the way that works is, am I too loud? Okay, I'll try that and calm down. Manual with the sound, the way that works, anytime you come in range of when your TV is broadcasting, it will what it does is it then gives you a little ding so that you know that you can actually hear the TV from another room.
Okay. Is that rechargeable units?
The hearing aids are rechargeable.
Okay.
The little device that you clip on your partner mic is rechargeable. But the other one, there's a little battery that gives a universal small USB port, not the
Okay.
regular size one, the smaller one.
Got it.
Connects up to it.
So these do wireless charging, Ed? Like you put them
No,
in a
they
box?
don't.
You put them in a box? Or you got to
They
plug?
don't.
You got to plug each hearing aid into something?
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. No, there is a little box that you get that when I take the hearing aid, I don't leave them on at night. That would be too much on my ears. So you just I'll try to say this softer. You just plug in the hearing aids into the box. As soon as you plug it into the box, it starts charging and it starts blinking. And it's usually blinking yellow. And then when it's charged, it says it can charge in 3 hours. I just leave it on every night.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to a new topic. Yes, Rick, what do you got?
Ed, did you hear about the Starkey TV streamer?
No.
Okay, because a friend of mine had questioned me around Christmas, wanting to know if I could get them the Starkey TV streamer because of the hearing aids that they just got for their father. And it comes from Australia. And of course, with the COVID and everything, it was very hard to get. But the second choice was this Phonak. Phonak TV Link number 2.
Right. And they're really hard to find. You can't find them anywhere. And that's
Right.
the one I sent a picture of. But
Okay, I didn't see. I'm looking at the messages. And then they
I'm
had
trying
a
to send a message, but it's not going.
Unitron.
Wait a second. Let me get this out of here.
Okay,
In my two box, it says to Bert. Why would I do that?
we need to move forward.
Okay, go ahead. To everyone. All right.
And you guys can sidebar if you need to and just send chats back and forth. We do have another question from the group, and someone is asking, they want to know if there's a way for them to watch Apple TV Plus on a TV without an Apple TV device. Can you AirPlay it? They just want to know, how can you do this? I guess my first question would be is, do you have a streaming device?
Chromecast, yeah.
You have a Chromecast. Okay.
Every other app on the iPhone does go to the Chromecast. It's my wife's iPhone, and we got the deal with the Apple TV Plus app. And it's the only thing I can't put up on I play it through my receiver, which is has all that capability, and I plugged a Chromecast into that. And the receiver supports AirPlay. So I get the sound if we, connect wirelessly with AirPlay, we get the sound, but we don't get the picture.
Have you tried using a Fire Stick or a Roku or
He owns
a Google
Chromecast.
Hub?
Well, I got the Chromecast, so that's not working with the Apple TV app. Yeah, I've thought about getting a Roku or something, but that's kind of a redundant piece of hardware.
According to the web, it says here, you can mirror your iPhone to a Chromecast TV using one or two third-party apps. Chromecast Streamer app lets you mirror your phone to any Chromecast device in the same Wi-Fi network. Have you tried something like that?
I will.
The difficulty, Ken, is Google and Apple don't like each other.
I figured that, yeah.
And that's why there's no Apple TV app on the Google devices. There is some workarounds, and that's one of them. The other thing is like Rick was suggesting, maybe get a different inexpensive, like $20 device, or like a Roku or a Fire Stick. I don't know about Fire Sticks if they work with Apple TV Plus. Rick says yes. So your mileage may vary, but you could get one of those inexpensive ones. Of course, that doesn't really help you. If you want to stay in the same network, Apple would love you to go and spend $125 and buy one of their Apple TVs.
Yep, I thought of that too. So
yep.
Roku's not too far behind that. I'll investigate the Fire Stick. Was there a second app you mentioned?
Well, you can get Roku, the Fire Stick, or the Google Hub, which is the new one that's out. Google redid the Hub, which right now T-Mobile is giving away for free if you go to their 5G wireless internet.
Oh.
They're giving you three Google Hubs for free.
I will go back to them because we just did go to T-Mobile. That's how we got the Apple TV Plus.
So, yeah, well, that's only for so many months, though.
Yeah, right. 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and then wait until you see what it costs after that.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I got Apple TV Plus for when I switched from AT&T to Verizon for 1 year at the time. And I was able to watch it using my Roku device hooked up to my TV, but then I was able to look at it. Comcast allows you to go to Apple TV Plus. Awesome.
We're not on Comcast.
Okay.
Target's got an offer for 4 months free of Apple TV.
Yeah, I had all of that with my new phones. They were giving away everything but for 3 months, and then I said, forget it. I don't want any of it because I'll forget to unsubscribe to it. And then all of a month I'm going to get a bill for $700.
And
that's why you have a calendar on your phone.
Yep.
But that doesn't always work.
Only works if you look at it. Okay. I hope that kind of helped you, Will. And Will, you figure out how to rename yourself, I see. That's good. Any next question, new direction?
Hey, I got one quick one for you.
Yes.
That last image that I posted of the front of the Phonak TV connector, it's really the front of Phonak TV connector 2.0. So, Rick, if you're looking for one someplace or online or somebody else's, if it doesn't have that picture of the plus, the off button and the on button on the front of it, it's not the 2.0. Okay, that's exactly what the 2.0 looks like.
Yeah, I have a picture of the 2.0.
Okay, good. The other picture was the back of the 2.0, which is different than the 1.0 and the 1.1.
Your price is pretty cheap compared to this other company.
Yeah, when Costco gets them in stock, it'll be $100 for it, and that's really cheap for a 2.0.
It's worth waiting for.
All right. Any last questions for our open forum? Who got something new for the holidays? Okay, pretty quiet here. I know Al was just dying to tell us about his new computer that he got. Al. Can't hear you, Al.
I know.
There you go.
Well, I've been waiting for an Intel NUC 11th generation i7, and it showed up the New Year's Day, as a matter of fact. And I populated with 32 gigs of memory and a 1 terabyte SSD. And I installed Win 11 on it and went smooth. Very smooth installation, and Windows ran fine on it. And when I opened the machine up, though, I recognized that the configuration of the machine itself differed from what I pictured the NUC to be. And it had space in it for not just one SSD, but a 42 millimeter second SSD, which I had never heard of. So I investigated and I ordered one. So I said, well, I'd like to have my operating system on a smaller drive. So I bought the 42 millimeter 512 gigabyte drive, and I waited for it. And it's a long story, but make the long story shorter, I went through some cleanup of the the 1 terabyte drive, and I was installing the 42 millimeter drive. And inside the machine, there is if you ever install any of these SSD drives, they slide into a socket, but there's a very small retaining screw that holds them in place. Well, for the 42 millimeter drive, tried as I might, I could not get that little screw out. So I shut it down. I called my supplier and said, this machine has a problem that I can't solve. And I told him, he says, well, all right, send it back to us with that little screw. We'll return your money to you and order you a new machine. So there went my NUC 11 i7. And I now wait for a new one because of a dumb little screw.
And by the time you get it, Al, it might be the next version of Intel Core i7, what, the 12th generation, right?
Well, the 12th generation or
more.
But it was fun. It was fun. I don't go into machines often these days.
Thank you, Al. Anyone else get anything that they'd like to show off?
Well, I was talking about that T-Mobile 5G internet that I'm on a test with them. And it seems pretty good. It's pretty fast. At least it was the day that I unboxed it. And it's a flat $50 a month. There's no extras. There's no tax. Everything's included for $50 a month. You don't own the machine. They do. It's got a built-in router. It's got a battery pack in it. They suggest you just keep it at one location. However, I'm going to do some tests with it and take it to other locations. And I'm pretty happy with what I see so far.
Good.
Does that have guest Wi-Fi and regular Wi-Fi channels?
Yes.
Or just one? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it has everything you can think of on it.
And could you use that for binding if you had a separate router to run, say, your cable TV, your
Yes.
cable internet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's got two RJ4511 connectors to it, you know. And it even has a port that's closed for telephone. So I imagine they're probably going to come out with a telephone feature in the future. So, and
You mean
it-
like you mean like a landline substitute?
Yes, yeah.
Rick, can you post a link to it?
Yeah, in fact, I have to get you the link because that's the only way you could really get it. It's hard to find.
Is that unlimited data too?
Yes, total unlimited data,
For $50 a month, unlimited everything.
everything, taxes included. And they claim that it'll never go up, never go down, anything in price. And I was totally unaware, but after completely done where they did all the paperwork, she comes back to me and she says, we're also going to send you 3 Google Hub. And I said, okay, what do I need these for? You know, I've got the Roku, the Fire Stick, and gobs of everything else. So anyhow, I got the 3 Google Hubs, and it's basically like a Roku in a way, but it also allows for a Cat5 connection to it. So you could actually come right out of that router and go direct Cat5 into it. Or you can go into another, with the Cat5 out of the machine, you can go into another router or switch or whatever and add more ports to it. So, and you can go on your phone and you can actually look and see what your speeds are. I only did it a couple times and I just, you know, it's sitting there basically, what do I need it for? So it's on a test with them, but I just report back the findings.
Yeah.
Rick,
What kind of
a
speeds are you
question-
getting?
Well, I mean, I haven't looked lately. I looked the very first day and it seemed pretty good, but it's been sitting on its side.
Are you on it? Are you not using it today?
No, I'm really not. I mean, I could switch over to it. I just haven't, you know, I did play with it the other day when I have, believe it or not, the internet went out on the house, good old Xfinity, and I powered that baby up. And I had no problem.
Well, that's good.
That's
Work
my
like-
question to you, Rick. Did you still keep your cable service? Or can
Yeah,
you
well,
watch
I'm
TV?
actually at a test with them, so I will get billed $50 a month, but I'll get refunded $50 a month. Okay,
Okay, they're actually selling it in Washington State where I live.
yes,
My question is, can you watch TV with it? In other words,
Yes.
just like my Comcast cable,
The stream.
this would still let me watch TV.
yes, you can stream with it. You can do whatever you want. It's totally unlimited. And there's no contract that you're signing. You can get rid of it at any time. All you have to do is send them back the equipment. Or I believe you could take it back to a T-Mobile store, but they'll give you, you know, and you won't be billed anymore. So basically, like in my situation, because I'm doing a test with them, they have to bill you for it because it's a piece of equipment that if you lose it, break it, whatever, you know, or whatever happens, they could charge you $200 for it or something like that. So this way they just
Donna?
refund.
Donna,
Everything.
I think the answer to your question would be, it depends how well 5G works where you specifically live. Which we don't know what your geographic location is like, but if you have no problem getting 5G cell service at your home, then this device will work more than adequately to replace your cable, and you could ditch your cable.
How will I know what my phone is receiving to know if I can get 5G?
Well,
I know I have T-Mobile for my phone now.
do you have, and
And I
is your
think
phone, is your phone 5G capable?
No, I have a Apple 7 Plus, so no.
Okay, but you're gonna have to be moving over from the LTE to 5G, are you not?
I don't know. That's my question. I don't know quite how.
No, you don't have to have 5G on your phone. Your phone has nothing to do with it.
This wasn't my question, Rick. I was just trying to see, she
What
wanted
my
to know how
signal is.
well it would work where
Yeah.
she's living. And and I was trying to say, if you had 5G on your phone, then it's gonna work. It's how good that works.
No, when
So-
you go, I'll send the link out. I'll give the link to you. You can send it out. And what happens in the link is they're going to ask you a series of questions. And the first thing, of course, is your address and where you're located. And if it comes up positive, they'll let you go further. If not, they'll tell you we're not providing service right there.
No,
There you
they've
go.
already told me they'll provide service, but I just didn't understand. No, they told me that because I called once on it. What I
Yeah.
didn't understand was, could I get rid of Comcast and just use this for my TV as well as my Wi-Fi in the house. That was my,
Yeah, if you could, but let me ask you this, Donna, if you get rid of Comcast, what are you gonna do for service? Do you have a
Well-
Fire Stick? Do you have a Roku? Do you have,
I have a Roku, I have a Fire Stick. And
okay,
I've
so
cut
you
the
would,
cable, I've cut the cord, so I don't pay, I just pay
oh, I see,
Comcast
you're just using
internet.
Comcast for internet.
I use it only for internet and I have a
Okay.
landline, but I can get rid of the landline.
Okay. Well, I'm
So-
just, this is what the box looks like. And as you
Right.
can see on the back of it, it's not that big. It looks like one of those Alexa things that, you know, the big one. I had to say the word and all of a sudden she's just blinking here. It's got two Cat 5 connections up at the top. It's got a power button. It also has a port here for a telephone. And then it's got a power plug. And it comes complete with everything. And it even has a little touch screen at the top. So I don't know if you could see this, but I'm in the basement or, you know, and I've got some pretty good service down here. And
Who's
I
the
kinda-
OEM on that?
I'm sorry.
Who's the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer?
You know, I haven't really looked it up. I want to say it is out of China. I know that. Nokia.
Yeah.
Kia.
Nokia
fine.
Nokia's Finland, aren't they?
Well, this,
Yeah.
yes, it is Finland. Nokia 5G 21 gateway kit. But it's made in Vietnam. And you know, what's neat is, like I said, if the power goes out, it's got a built-in battery backup. So,
Donna, is your Comcast bill real expensive? Is it more than $50 a month?
Yes.
Donna?
I know, I was on a contract, so I think I paid them 48, but
Oh.
it expires in April and they've raised all the rates.
Yep.
So it would be cheaper for me to go with this. And I thought, well, maybe I bring this in March. Because my
You-
contract with Comcast expires in April. Just to Make sure everything
Try
works.
contacting them and try to renegotiate your price, because you just say, I need to get a better price, and you start complaining, and they could drop your price, give you a better offer.
a little word to the wise, the federal government made a decision the other day that these contracts on cable, all of this stuff are totally illegal.
Right, they did.
So I thought about that too, because my son-in-law moved into our house last year, and he wanted to add all these things onto Xfinity, and they gave us a different rate and made us sign a 2-year agreement. So I was able to get out of that 2-year agreement when he left. I said, look, he's a customer at another location now. And they did let us out and kept us at the old price. So it was pretty decent. But
Well,
Yeah.
they've advertised this rate increase for everybody, so I don't know that they're really going to negotiate down.
It doesn't
They
hurt to
just-
make a
they
phone
sent it
call.
out in writing. Doesn't hurt to ask, but when I
I-
called them to find out when my contract expires, as I was looking into this, they had no offers available.
In the
to-
past, Comcast has negotiated, but the best you get is a 12-month deal.
Yes.
Then you have to renegotiate no later than the 11th month of this deal
Yeah.
to get an extended deal.
That's absolutely correct. I did that today. Mine expired in December. Of course, I was out of town, but today I renegotiated my 2-year at $60 a month, $64 a month, and they give me another 1 year for $64. And I say thank you, but I'm still looking. I'm looking at that that T-Mobile option, but it's not available in my area as yet. T-Mobile.
It is available here. We have towers for it, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a question of, I don't believe they're going to negotiate down. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because they've publicized these prices that everybody is going to go up. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna negotiate. lower.
If
No,
they
no, no.
don't, it'll
I
be
can
the,
try. I can try.
if
and I
they
will try
don't,
the month of March.
it's the
So-
first time they haven't negotiated. I'll tell you that because I used to play that game with them for a while till I got fed up and changed to something else.
Yeah.
All right, we need to move on. And I'd like to know before I go on to our presentation tonight, does anyone have any last thing that they want to show us that they got for the holidays? I see Wayne is holding us a new keyboard. Wayne,
It's a Raspberry Pi keyboard
a Raspberry Pi keyboard. Ed, I saw your hand up.
and a mouse.
What's that? A mouse?
Mouse for the Raspberry Pi.
Wow.
It's a Raspberry Pi
Raspberry Pi.
400.
And with the box too to put the Pi into?
Yeah, I got this last fall.
Okay. And
This was given to me for Christmas.
this is for your new Linux box that you're making, right?
Well, Raspberry Pi is Linux, yeah,
Right.
but that's not. I still have a Linux computer too. Separate.
Well, what are you going to do on this Pi?
Experiment with it.
Experiment. Okay. All right. Just don't inject anything funny into your arms, okay? All right. Ed, what'd you got?
Okay, something I needed to troubleshoot something, which was a triangle screwdriver.
Ah,
And I posted the link for it. I went to several places, auto places. I had a Costco Christmas tree that I bought in 2013. And all of a sudden it started acting funny. And I was able to figure out how to get one screw out, but I couldn't get any more out. And it's a triangle screwdriver. If anybody needs a triangle screwdriver for one of these made in Taiwan devices, you can get it at Amazon for $12.99, a whole set of 5. And I posted that set, the link to it on there. I ended up taking it back to Costco and they gave me a full refund on the tree that I bought in 2013.
they're a great place. Okay. Anybody else? Tom's got something. Yes.
I've got a question for you guys. Has anybody found out that their computer won't handle Windows 11?
Oh yeah.
Well, probably many of us that don't have a newer machine.
Yep.
If
I've
you don't
just
have, what is that,
been
TPM?
communicating with a woman who has a machine that she wanted to upgrade to Windows 11, and she was told she couldn't because she doesn't have a TPM. She'll have to upgrade the CPU for $400. She wasn't awfully happy about that.
Well, I'm not happy about it either, but I figured I've got another 5 years of Windows 10, so I'll wait and use what I've got for another 4 years before I upgrade.
Well, I know Woody's letter, the one you pay for, came out and he said, at this point, delay any more updates. Get your Windows 10 totally updated, but do not install Windows 11 yet because in January they'll be releasing the first update or something to Windows 11. He said, wait.
Yep.
Okay, give me one moment. And then, okay. That being said, we're done with our open forum and our new home products that everyone got. We're now ready to go into our presentation tonight. Tony, are you ready?
Sanford. Yes, I'm ready. I just want to
And-
give you a heads up that this is copyrighted, so I'm going to be showing something from the Apple people. So I don't know if you want to record it.
Well, is it it's like a commercial?
No, it's a presentation.
It's a presentation by Apple?
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I'll pause this then. But
Tony?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Can you send out the link to the presentation?
Oh, I will send out the link. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Send out the link and then
Mhm.
this way it will be in the chat and I'm going to pause this recording because we have copyrighted content here. That's a good thing. Thanks. I'm sorry. I should have caught that too. So to recap, we were talking about just for the pause there, Tony was explaining his experiences about using his new MacBook that he's got and the applications that he's running on there. He does have one program that has a hiccup. We'll call it a hiccup a little because it's not compiled for this M1, which Bob has elaborated on, it's a RISC processor. So that's part of the reason it's running so much faster is because it is running on the RISC instruction set, which has been out there. The RISC instruction set or ARM processor has been out there for what, 10 years or more? And
Oh, longer.
longer than that, 20 years. But they were never really adopted into the realm. Now, if I remember, when Steve Jobs came out with his computer system, that was when he left Apple, he came out with a computer system that was based off of a derivative. I think it was Linux or Unix, and I don't remember the name of that system.
Next.
Thank you.
Yes.
Was that not an ARM processor system there or not? I don't
Well,
know.
that was a Motorola based system. So
Okay.
the original Mac was a Motorola 68,000. And so was the next computer, I believe. I'll double check that. And those were CISC based. Then Mac went to the Power Pro, which was IBM, and that was a RISC. And then they went to Intel, which was CISC, and now they've gone back to RISC with ARM.
Okay. Yeah, and when Apple bought Steve Jobs, if you will, to come back to them, that he brought along that next system and the technology that was there, if I'm correct, and incorporated that into the Apple platforms. Am I right? Please, I may have my details a little wrong, but anyone want to elaborate on that one? No, maybe this is something I kind of picked up somewhere along the way. Because I thought that he changed the OS way back then to run more of this Unix type kernel. Yes? No?
Well, you run into a problem. Linux, for example, which is the modern desktop type of Unix, presently doesn't really run very well on ARM. They're still working on getting Linux distros like Ubuntu to run on ARM. Apple uses a different Unix child or grandchild type of operating system, which does run well on the M1, the ARM, the RISC chips. But if you're trying to compare this with Unix, no, at least not for Linux, it isn't comparable.
I may be wrong, but I think I remember the modern Mac OS as being derived from BSD, which is Unix for the PC based operating system.
BSD is Berkeley. The PC-based Unix is from Microsoft. Let me think.
Well, anyway, both Linux and the Apple operating system are offshoots from Unix and Unix derivatives.
Linux is Unix-like. I wouldn't say it's a complete offshoot.
Well, it began its life as GNU and then branched out from there, and that was a little different from Unix.
Yeah.
I would say Linux was inspired by Unix.
Yeah, it's a. If you want to get in the weeds, Linux is little endian and Unix is big endian. That's weeds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weeds.
Okay, so Tony, tell us more
Listen.
reasons why the many people here that are in the Windows or PC platform should consider moving over to the Apple platform.
Because I think Apple is cutting edge. It's ahead of the PC, in my humble opinion. I used to build a couple of them and do monkey with them. They're painfully slow. They are dragged like after the fact, you know. They're not cutting edge as far as I'm concerned. You know, I see the performance of the Apple systems, video and the processors and everything else. And the fact of its security, one of the good things, the touch everything is a very secure system, relatively. And it doesn't, you cannot break. I send my cousin an Apple phone, an Apple 10 phone into Trinidad over the holidays. And I couldn't find the password because it was my grandson's and he isn't with us anymore. And they couldn't even break into that phone and reset it and restart it to make it workable, you know? Whereas when you have a regular phone, Android or one of them things, they're easy to get into and to do things with. And even the security people can't work into the Apple. When you have one and the police tries to get your information off of your phone, and if you don't give them the password, they can't get into the things to break it, not normally anyway. So it is a very secure system. It's fast, it's clean, and it's beautiful.
Okay. Do you have the home pods in your house?
Yes, sir. I don't have them in my ears now, but yes, I got those.
The home pods, you have them throughout the house and for...
Oh, no, the pods, I don't have the pods throughout the house because I have Sonos in my house. I don't need any more pods, but it will be an interesting complement to what I have. But I use the Sonos systems, which what I had before, and they do all right. They do very well.
I will say that my son is embraced in the Apple environment, immersed into it. And his whole house is more or less converted over to Philips lighting, which he operates solely from his home pods.
Yeah.
And everything is voice controlled. So you tell it, turn on the lights, turn down the lights, and it automatically does it. I guess I'm an old codger and I just don't get it. It's like my buddy, I have another buddy who's running in the Amazon Alexa device environment, and his whole house lighting is completely controlled from that device. I just don't get it. I like to go in and just flip a light switch. I just don't understand why I need to give the instructions, but that's me. Okay. That's being an old timer. But
I do have the Amazon aspect here in this bedroom. I'm in here now and in another room. And yeah, it's good. And when I'm out of town, like I was for the holidays, I'm able to do everything back home here. My thermostat, everything around the music, the doorbells, everything is under control. I don't have to worry about anything or think about anything else. It's very intuitive and it does a very clean job. And more importantly, they don't break into it like the Ring doorbell. My ex-wife has a Ring doorbell and stuff, and she has problems with that because people have been cracking into her stuff just on the fly. And that is scary,
Are you saying cracking in mean hacking into her?
Yes, hacking to things, and leaving funny messages, doing things. Somehow to get some control over stuff. I don't understand how they do it. But as long as they find out you have a Ring doorbell, they can sit in the car and just manipulate the system, which is really scary. In fact, somewhere I was reading about that. I must look it up again. But they were talking about the Ring doorbell and the difficulties and challenges people are having with them. They're nice and they're simple, but they have problems with the security aspect of it, I think.
It's an IoT device that's not very secure. And that's probably the reason that people tell you if you have Internet of Things devices that you should put them on like a guest network so cannot get into your regular network. So they can't hack in as a backdoor to get into your house network to be able to access your computers and everything else that's in your house.
Yeah, I believe that might be the case. But I know when she was out in California, she couldn't even get into her stuff from there. And I was sitting down here with my Apple systems and I was cooking, doing everything I wanted to do.
Okay. Who here uses Apple products or Apple PC or laptops and computers? Some of us may have Apple iPhones, but besides the iPhones, anyone else use them? Was that Wayne? Did you put your hand up? Wayne, we can't hear you. Wayne.
Apple iPad.
Yeah, the iPad. Okay. And just the iPad,
Yeah,
okay?
I
And
use that mainly for checking my emails and all, because it's so quickly, I can just turn it on and I take it when I go on vacation or trips, when I'm overseas. Works great.
okay. Anyone else? We
Well,
know
my
Ed
aunt
does.
upgraded to a newer Mac and she had an older one that had the menu system and stuff, and it's really confusing her with all that stuff on the side and exploding, I don't know what you call them, icons, but it causes her quite some grief. She's in her 80s, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a couple MacBook Pros that are old. They're classified obsolete, but they still work just fine.
well, that's good. Ed, what are you using?
Yeah, I used to have a 2009 Mac Mini, and I upgraded to a Mac Mini last year, just before they came out with the newest one. I didn't know they were going to do that, but it's got an SSD drive and it works really fast. I mean, it boots up really fast, and I like it.
That's your main device now, is your Mac Mini?
Yeah, that's what I'm running this on. And
Okay.
I also have two older iPads, and they both work well. And my phone.
So the Mac Minis, are those running those M1 chips?
I'll have to look.
I think
Mine
new
is
ones
a
are going to be
2018
doing
Mac
so.
Mini. So let me look about the chip.
Mac Mini was running, I think it was Intel chips until a couple of generations ago when they went over to the M1.
Which is, I believe Ed said his was last year, so his should be
No,
running
mine's
the M1s.
2018. I bought it last year, but it's
18.
2018. In graphics, it has an Intel UHD graphics
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, his would still be Intel.
Okay,
Right.
But now they are based on, they now use Apple Silicon M1. They use the
Right.
M1. And people are complaining about not being able to put Linux on them anymore.
No. Can't
That's
have
the
everything.
problem. When Apple talks about enforcing secure boot,
Mhm.
it means you cannot put any other operating system on their hardware. And you can't run any other operating system on their hardware.
That's not true. I run maybe on the newer chip, but not right now. I can run Windows on mine.
Yeah, on the Intel ones, you can. I'm
Yes.
talking about the M1 based.
Yeah, on your Mac Mini, because it's Intel based, you can run any of the OSs.
Right.
Whereas on ARM chips, there are limitations right now. I'm certain some of that will be overcome, and there will be versions that do work on the ARM chip a lot better. But we don't know how long that'll be. But as far as the M1 restricting what you can run on the system for secure boot, to some extent, that's true with Windows operating system, unless you know how to modify the boot up process to use legacy operating systems, which include your Linux. Technically, in a virtual mode, you can also do a Mac OS if you're adventurous enough.
Yeah, I haven't had too many problems with Linux not being able to coexist with Windows. Even on my brand new Intel NUC. But anyway, we're talking about what Apple will allow. And right now, it's more of an architecture problem than it is of a security issue. But the security also is an issue.
I have a question for Carl. Carl, you remember Wayne that used to come to our tips and tricks? What was the software that he used to run on his machine? It was an engineering software.
Oh, some sort of graphics.
Well, that I know. I know some sort of, but I'm trying to remember the name. And I'm wondering if that's what Tony is trying to use.
I can't remember the name of the,
Because he always had tough times running that one. He needed a strong box for it.
it was an engineering program, yeah.
Right. And he did 3D CAD modeling on there.
Could have been AutoCAD or
Yeah.
by Autodesk.
No, it was none of those. It wasn't a CAD program. I used the term CAD, but it wasn't. But it is a kind of one, but it was a very specific product, and it needed cutting edge
Unix?
technology to run no matter what. Always did. So anyways, I was trying to see, Tony, is
Listen.
it on your desktop?
No, it isn't on the desktop. I cleaned it up because it was just cumbersome, and in fact, I left it, but my son-in-law in California let him mess with it because he's in engineering and all that stuff. He
Okay.
has his own stuff, so
Okay,
that's good.
gotcha. All right. Does anyone have any last questions for Tony and his great presentation tonight? None? Ed, I hear you saying something. Are you talking? We can't hear you. Are you muted, Ed?
Okay, good. You're right. Did Rick post a link to that T-Mobile 1 gig, $50 a month?
No, I have not done it yet.
Would you please?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna probably just have to send it to Sanford because I've got to go. I left my office. I'm now upstairs, so I don't,
Okay.
I have to
All
see
right.
if I can get it from here.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're shutting this down pretty quick here, so either Rick's got it or he doesn't. So, but I think that was what the Verizon 5G, what do you call it, Rick?
T-Mobile.
It's a
I thought Rick
T-Mobile.
said it was
It's a
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. I'm sorry, T-Mobile.
Yeah. I'll get it for you and I'll text it over to you, Sanford.
Okay, all right, and I'll have to email it out to the group. Any other last questions? If not, I'm going to shut down the meeting for tonight.
Very good. Thank you, Sanford.
Thank
I got a
you.
question.
Good night.
Wait, what? One question, Tom?
I do have a question. It's, are we seeing that the newer PCs, whether they're laptops or desktops, are starting to tune out or remove things like DVDs?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, DVDs have been gone for quite a while.
long time.
Have they? Okay.
Before everyone goes, I forgot to tell you, if you look in the email, I told everybody about the YouTube, the CCS YouTube website, or sorry, YouTube homepage. That is going to have all of our meetings on there. Past meetings have been posted on there, the ones that I've been able to retrieve. So please go and subscribe to it. I should have mentioned this earlier in the evening, and I did not. I'm sorry I didn't. So the link is in the bottom of the email where I sent the meeting, I'm sorry, the top of the email where I sent out the meeting announcement. So we have a Chicago Computer Society YouTube branded YouTube page.
Great.
Subscribe. I put a lot of work into this.
Thanks,
I think
Sanford.
so. We
Okay.
got it.
Thank
With
you.
that, good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night.